Hey guys, continue to look at some of the questions you guys have had on the 9-8 homework. This idea of solving, or I'm sorry, factoring completely. And then what it lets us do is solve higher degree problems, not just z squared equations, but now we're looking at z cubed or x cubed equations. So this is number 49 on 9-8. So let's take a look at this. We want to solve this thing. So again, it's already equal to 0, so the only thing that's left for us to do is to factor that left-hand side. So I've got z cubed minus 81z equals 0. And always remember that first thing you should look for is, especially when you're looking at factoring on that left-hand side, do you have any common factors? All right. So if I see z cubed and 81z or negative 81z, however you want to look at that, I see they've got a z in common. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and factor out a z. That's just undistributing a z. And now z times what would give you z cubed? That's z squared. And z times what would give you 81z? Well, that's 81. All right, so I've factored out a z. All right, so there's the first step in factoring, I guess. Now, again, anytime you've still got z squared, there's probably still, or an x squared, there's probably still some work to do. So let's look at that, what I've got left in parentheses there. And again, this is that one. It depends how many of these videos you've watched. You're probably getting sick of me saying this. This is the one that I've told you, learn to recognize, recognize it, and then how do we deal with it? Z squared is a perfect square, z times z. 81 is a perfect square, it's 9 times 9, and I'm subtracting them. So this is a difference of two squares, all right? So this I can factor as z plus 9 and z minus 9, okay? Learn to recognize, learn to factor that difference of two squares. Now, I've still got the z left over from our first factoring here, and it still equals 0. But now I've got everything factored because there's no more z squareds. It's all just in terms of z, or z to the first power. So now I can use that zero product property. I'm multiplying three things and getting 0. If I multiply 3 things or 4 things or 10 things and get 0, the only way that can happen is if one of those is 0. All right. So I just write an equation. I write 3 equations that says exactly that. So z could be 0, or z plus 9 could be 0, or z minus 9 could be 0. One of those 3 equations has to be true. Now, this one's already solved for us, so z equals 0 is one of my solutions. Here I've got one-step equation, so I subtract 9 on both sides. I get z equals negative 9, and here I add 9 to both sides. I get z equals positive 9. All right, so 3 solutions, and again, I've mentioned this in a couple other videos. Anytime you see something to the third power, kind of expect 3 solutions, all right? And my 3 solutions here are 0, negative 9, and positive 9. And if you plug those in, all right, plug 0 in for all the z's, I bet it equals 0. Put negative 9 in for both of those z's, I bet it equals 0. And put positive 9 in for both of those z's, I bet it equals 0. Those are the 3 values of z that make that equation true. All right, so again, factoring by taking out commons, and then that difference of 2 squares. Learn to recognize. I want you to see those things in your sleep, all right, and be able to recognize and know how to deal with the difference of 2 squares. All right, so this was number 49 on 9-8. I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any other issues. Otherwise, have a good Easter, and take care, guys.